I forgot to get my chat thing open. Oops. Let's go and do that now before I forget. Use the phone. Okay. I have to take that down, looks like. Ugh, what a menace. I'll be right back. Kitty wants it. Weird. It's stream night tonight. I'm busy right now. I'll give you some pets, then you need to go lay down. Alright, go lay down. Go lay down. Over there. Lay down. Yep, curl up and go to sleep. Curl up and go to sleep. Don't give me that dirty look. No, leave it. No, leave it. You're gonna be a nuisance again tonight, aren't you? You're gonna be a menace. You're gonna be a fluffy menace. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be a menace. Alright, you need to go lay down, buddy. No, go lay down. Are you gonna pout? Really? Leave it. Goober. You need your paw hairs trimmed again, don't you, buddy? That's gonna be fun, isn't it?
Hello there.
Hey, Painted by the Hill, welcome in. It has been a while. How are you doing? I'm getting there. I'm hanging. I shouldn't say getting there. I'm hanging in there. Nice. I've thought about. Oh! Must snooze ad. Yeah. Way you don't get stuck in an ad right away as soon as you come in. I've thought about opening commissions up. I have the coffee site thing. Buy me a coffee or Ko-fi or whatever you call it. I have that set up to start doing it. That's all good. I muted. I paused it already, so no big deal. The only issue I've got is figuring out how to do the models. So, do you have them provide their own miniatures, or will you acquire them? Yeah, so I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to just include the purchase of the miniature in the price and just be like, I'll get the miniature, I'll build it, I'll clean it up, I'll paint it, or if it's like, you ship me the miniature and I'll paint it. I haven't decided on that. That's been the thing that's holding me back right now from starting. That's kind of what I'm considering right now. As soon as I make up my mind on how I want to handle that, it's basically ready to go. I have it set up so that, like, the bot is even already in the chat here. That will, notify people that it's available. So really all I need to do, make up my mind and I'm all set up. I've got the coffee thing set up already with the tiers. And I've thought about setting it up so that, like, if they want me to do like a 3D printed model, well, I'm not really worried about that at all. I'm just looking for other stuff to paint, and just with everything that's going on the last, basically since July, I'm running out of the financial ability to continue to buy miniatures or buy STLs if I think they're cool. It's a long story. And I didn't get the position that I was hoping I would get in the parts department at work. Yeah, so I don't know. It's been a while since you were in here. I'm not that, like, it is what it is. I don't blame them. I don't hold it against them. It wasn't like I was passed over, per se. So I had surgery on my foot in July. I can't remember if you were in here since then or before that, to the lead up to that. Shortly after Adepticon, I ended up with some issues with one of my feet. Well, I had it before Adepticon, but it didn't really get to the point where surgery was the option until about May. I want to say late April, early May. Oh no, we're in the middle of an ad. Oh yes, you said you had turbo. Yeah, so I did have surgery. It was supposed to be 2 to 3 weeks of recovery, and then I was supposed to be basically back on my feet. And the inflammation and pain and the actual healing of the incision and the internal parts of my foot took until late October before I could even walk on it properly. Let alone where, like, they wanted me in 3 weeks to be in a boot, like in an actual shoe, my actual shoe, walking around, and that just, that wasn't possible. It was bruised until mid-October, like my foot was still purple and bruised. The incision wasn't closed, it was still open, and until late October. Starting about, and I ended up in physical therapy trying to work through the pain to see if it was just scar tissue buildup, just inactivity from not moving it for a while. So I ended up in physical therapy. The physical therapy really helped. So I was back to work November 3rd. I think the first Monday of November, I went back to work. And about a week after, and that was only part-time for 4-hour shifts. So I worked until about noon, and then I would go home. And about a week in, the inflammation returned, the feeling of like walking on a rock returned, the pain returned, the incision is still closed, but it's very painful. Like, just touching it hurts. So I'm still only working until noon, working 4-hour days. I've been referred to a nerve and joint specialist to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the nerves. The podiatrist that did the surgery, what he did should have fixed my problem. Unless it was incorrectly diagnosed. Which, on the MRIs and on the x-rays, based on what he saw, what he did should have taken care of the problem. Why it's still painful, he's unsure. It doesn't look to be anything on the x-rays and the MRI that he can do through the hospital. So he's sending me to a different podiatrist that has got more focus in nerves and joints. They went through extra schooling, and that's their focus: neuropathy, joint issues. So I go see them on the 16th, so on Tuesday, and I'm hoping that it's not a big problem, that it's something that like either medication or injections can fix, and it's not something that I'll have to have surgery again. And that's like I haven't even seen that podiatrist for the initial like exam yet, so I'm unsure. But I was told by the previous doctor, who's a really good doctor. Like, I don't hold anything against him. He did really good up until like helping. It's been since 2020 that this has been an ongoing like off and on issue, that we've been keeping it under control until this year. And I was always he was always upfront about that. That is a possibility that may have to happen later on. Yeah, yep. So, as it stands right now, I just, like I said, I'm only working part-time, basically, which has totally killed my income. I still plan on being at Adepticon. That's already paid for. I've got that all set aside already. So that shouldn't be an issue. I've got the hotel room and the drive paid for. I'll just have to be careful with like buying things in the vendor hall. By then I may so I'm gonna have my motorcycle up for sale probably starting in late March, early April. So that should also help with like Adepticon fees and like travel expenses. Yeah, so I'm working on this for Golden Demon. So this is I don't know if you no, this is Age of Sigmar. This is one of the Stormcast like captain people, I guess, if you want to call them that. Yndrasta. This is the one with the wings that's like standing on like a broken tower for Stormcast. Yeah, so here's what I've got on the main miniature. And the wings will go here. Something like this. Yeah, so I still have to do some of the I have to finish the the non-metallic blue steel on the crossguard and on the hilt, and I cannot remember the pommel and the hilt and whatnot. I gotta finish the non-metallic gold around the spear. I'm not gonna do much more with the back right now until I have the wings glued on. I think going any further with this doesn't make much sense yet. Because the wings are going to cover a lot of stuff up. I appreciate that, thank you. This is taken... So I started on this... It's been a while, maybe a month ago or so. But I really only work on it on stream. And then the wings will end up looking... So I still gotta do some more work on the, getting the wings to match. But the wing patterns will eventually look more like what you're... Will end up looking more like this. So I think this is what I'm gonna go for on the larger feathers. And then this will be what the smaller feathers look like. Yeah, well, I figure if I start now, I've got plenty of time to like work on it, set it aside, to work on something else, go back to it. Because that tends to be how I paint things. Like, I can paint a whole bunch of things for a while, and then I have to stop for a while. But I did a bunch of, I did a bunch of practice ones first to kind of get the non-metallic kind of look figured out first. So yeah, these were all done. These were all done to look non-metallic. So I'm just slowly working on them, getting it figured out, kind of how I want it to look. I appreciate that. Yeah, so at Adepticon this year, I took Tim Marsh's TJ Marsh, I think is what he goes by on Instagram. I took is he Mindwork? I cannot remember who he paints for. I think it's Mindwork. I took his non-metallic metal class. Journeyman Miniatures. So he's with Journeyman Miniatures. I took his non-metallic metal class, and even though, like, with the issues with, like, the palettes being, like, have too much moisture, like they had too much water in them and they were oversaturating all the paints. So they were breaking really easy. I learned a lot. So I took kind of what I learned from his class and just played around with it for a while until it made sense. Here, let's see. Okay, so I will just do this. Yeah, so that's who I'm talking about. That was interesting. I have no idea what was going on there. But yeah, so that's who I took his non-metallic metal class, and I think it really helped me out. I still need to go back through and the sword we used for that class, I want to redo it. Yeah, you said you've been working on a lot of commissions lately. What you got any like pictures you want to share, or just want to talk about like what you've been working on? Ugh. I apologize. I had to beat myself real quick. Okay. I've probably seen a lot of it then. Because really, like, Instagram's the only kind of social media I really use anymore. I don't really go on Facebook or anything anymore. Or X. Okay. I'll give it another check here in a second. You guys been getting nailed with snow over there? So you might be, you're probably a little too far south, aren't you, for the really bad stuff? Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember kind of where the cutoff is. Yeah, what are we at? We're at, according to this, we're at 7. Yeah, it was bad this weekend. It was either Friday or Saturday. It was like -4. With like a feel like temperature of like -18 or something like that. No, I think it was Saturday. It was really bloody cold. Yeah, I think that was Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I don't know. Since I'm only really working part-time now, I come home and I lock myself inside. I don't go back out while it's cold. Mainly because the last thing I need to do right now is slip and fall. Yeah, so until we figure out what's going on and we can kind of get the limp to get better, I just haven't been going outside much. Yeah. I don't know what they're saying here, but I think it's supposed to get warm here too, which will be nice because we need to melt some of the snow. Let's see what they're saying for us. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're supposed to get much above 40. Next Tuesday, though, 44. Yeah, we're pretty much right about where we normally are. That's pretty normal for us this time of year. Like, it usually doesn't get really, really cold until January or February. Generally January. kind of like the coldest time of the year for us. I mean, I've got a cold now. Doesn't really take much. You know what? I think I forgot to turn my stream music back on to record to the stream. Or record to my VOD. Let's make sure. Nope, I forgot. So the first hour is not going to have any music. Oh well. Yeah. It's been pretty normal winter so far. I think we've got more snow than last year, which I'm hoping doesn't keep going. Or at least ends by late March. So I really don't want to have to drive home in the snow like I did last year. What now? What? Who's gonna figure out what who's up to? Yeah. Which isn't so bad. Hopefully, like, it doesn't get dry like it did for them last year. But I know from what I was reading... Oh, yeah, I mean... It's kind of boring just listening to me talk, though. Having the background music is kind of nice for people that want to just, like, pop the VOD on and, just some, like, background noise. Because I must have people that do that. Because I notice a lot of my VODs get views. Some of my VODs... Brian the Bee Guy, welcome in. So I did account for that this year. So my plan this year, if I can still make it, is Tuesday to Monday. I don't have to be back to work till Tuesday. So I'm still planning on leaving Sunday after the convention's kind of closed, or before it gets dark. Yeah, and I'm fine. If you want to watch that, I mean, the whole point of the VODs being there is if you want to watch, see what I'm doing, and just kind of pop it on in the background and have something to do while you paint. That's more power to you. That's what they're there for. But yeah, welcome in, Brian the Bee Guy. And that's my plan. Is if I have to, I can stay and leave Monday. I'm only about 5 hours away from Milwaukee. So if it's looking reasonable, Sunday, you know, what 2 o'clock-ish, I'll probably still make the drive. But if it's snowing really hard, I'm just gonna stay an extra night if I can. I'll just put the extra like hotel room night on my credit card. Because yeah, last year I was like an hour away from home and it started, well, I was a little further than that, probably 2 hours away from home, and it started to snow. It was just like, I could go back and I took pictures of all kinds of stuff, so like I could figure out exactly where I was when it started. But yeah, it started to snow on me last year coming home. And I drove, yeah, the last like 2 hours in the snow. And as long as it's not real heavy snow, I'll be fine. I have a little like Jeep Compass. It's all-wheel drive. So as long as it's not really heavy snow, I'll be fine. I'll make it home. I'll just have to go slow. It'll take me longer, but I'm not going to be to work that Monday because I had to, because the way that it worked last year, in the industry that I work in, the end of the month is like paramount. You have to be there unless you request the vacation off and they approve it. Like, you're not calling out. They will send somebody to come get you. Unless you are in the hospital dying, you had best be there. Yeah. That's been the one thing that stopped me from getting an all-electric vehicle. Because realistically, I don't drive that far to go to work. An EV would be practical for me to drive back and forth to work. Yeah. So what did you end up? What do you have for an EV then, Hill? Do you have like one of the Kias or Hyundais or whatever they are? You got a Bolt. Yeah, those are really good. So yeah. Do you have the big one or the small one? There's two versions of the Bolt now. There's the EUV or just the regular EV. And the EUV is kind of like compact SUV size. It's a little taller than a normal Bolt, and it's a little bit bigger in size. Okay, you got the small one. Yeah, my boss when I worked for the GM, not the last GM dealer, but the one before that. That's what he drove every day. Was a Bolt EV, and like he loved that car. It wasn't anything fancy, but like it was the perfect car to commute back and forth to work with. And I had considered it. The biggest thing for me is since I've moved on to a Chrysler dealer, it's not practical for me to own a Bolt anymore. So, do you have an older one? Like 2025 or older, or 2024 or older? Because the newer ones have like level 3 charging. Yeah. So I think you must have got it right as that new body came out. But one of the newer Bolt EV models can do the like level 3 charging. So it can charge from like 0 to like 80% in like, I think it's under 20 minutes. It's really fast. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the newer ones, can do like level 3 charging. And they're really cool. My biggest worry is what that does to the battery. Supposedly, it's fine. And people a heck of a lot smarter. Yeah, I mean, that's still not real bad, to be honest. Yeah, same thing with like the new Silverado. It's like that too. It'll do it'll do like a 0 to 80% charge in just a few minutes. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. Luckily for me, like my commute to work is like 20 minutes. And I work like right next to a Tesla charging station. That's like one. It's at like a quick star, so any vehicle can charge there. And they're level. I think they're level 3. Yep. Yeah, it's like right across the street from my work. But to be fair, if push came to shove, if I bought an EV and I really needed some charge before I left work, we have a level 3 on site. It's supposed to be for customers that buy like Chrysler EVs, but it costs money to use it. So like I'm sure they wouldn't care if I like paid the fee myself. I just wouldn't be able to do like free or discounted charging. I would have to pay for it, which makes sense. Now, the job where my boss drove a Bolt, he got to charge for free at work. Because they had a level 2 that was solar powered. So unless the weather was really bad, it was charging off of solar. So it has a big bank of solar panels on the roof of it. And like I don't remember whether it was 2020 or 2019, but like one of those years they made money from the city. They put more money into the grid than they used to charge stuff. So that particular like site made them money. Like their solar panels produced more power than they consumed from the grid. Yeah, we had considered it when we were looking to buy this house. We were actually kind of looking for a house with solar, but like the few that were available for sale didn't really have like good, like they didn't really have like a solar like control system on them per se. They were always on. They had like some kind of inverter, and they were like, it was not convenient to manage either any of them. Like the one just, it had an inverter and it dumped it right into the house, basically. But I want one. If I do it, and the way we wanted it set up is that it had like a battery bank and an inverter, so that if you were using less power than the solar put out, it would charge the batteries, and you would run 100% off of solar. You wouldn't be drawing any from the grid. The way that these two houses were set up is you were pretty much always drawing from the grid, but you were putting power back into it as well. It was just weird how they were set up. I've never seen a setup like that. I don't know for sure how they were set up, other than they didn't have the type of system we wanted. Because like I didn't buy this place on my own, like I bought it with my family. So like I pay for part of it, but I don't pay for the whole amount. Which is kind of nice. Yep. Pretty much any EV can do that nowadays. That is one good thing about them. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not going to run things for very long. But it's enough. It's enough to, like, shut essential things down that you don't need to have. Like, if you work on a computer, it's enough that you can shut that stuff down, save your work, shut, critical systems down that... Yep. I'm kind of regretting buying my current vehicle, because right after that, the Jeep put out their Wagoneer S, which is like their sports Wagoneer. It's smaller than a normal Wagoneer by a lot, but it's a full EV, and that thing is really nice. And you could lease one for like, as an employee, because they're not selling. That's the problem. Nobody wants an EV Jeep. So they just can't, like, they're just not selling. So we could lease one, I think it was like $150 a month, with like $2,200 down. And those things, they're like MSRP is like $57,000. So they're super nice. and I would never buy one, but I could have leased one for really cheap. Yeah, you can't touch that lease amount just off the like walking off the street. Like that was an employee deal to get employees into them. Basically, I think so that we could show them off. Because Chrysler just can't sell EVs right now. They're just not selling. They've got that Charger that's an EV, and it's kind of crap. And then they've got the Wagoneer, which is built off the same platform for the most part. And it's really nice, but it's too expensive. Like, who wants to spend $60,000 on an EV Jeep? Like, nobody. The Charger's definitely bad. Like, it's I hate to say that because I work for a Chrysler dealer, but it's bad. It's just not built well. It's not designed well. It's too much of a gimmick. It's not a real vehicle. Like it plays sound like it plays like fake car noises when you start it, when you drive it. It's got speakers in the rear bumper, like 6 of them or something like that, subwoofers and whatnot. So it rumbles when you start it, and when you're driving, it makes like car engine noises, but it doesn't have a transmission. And they didn't think about it enough to program that kind of tonal change. So after you drive that thing for like 30 minutes, that sound just drones. It doesn't change pitch. It's just a constant like droning like engine noise, and it's really annoying. And they've already had like 4 different recalls where we had to like tear the whole like half the car apart to fix them. And you can shut it off. Like you can shut that noise off. But every single ignition press, like every single ignition cycle, so on and off ignition cycle, it re-enables that. They haven't given you a way to like turn it off and have it stay off. And it's just obnoxious. It's obnoxious. Like, we've had salesmen that have leased them that have turned them back in already. Yeah, right? Like, and like the people that are supposed to be selling these don't want them. You know it's bad when your salesperson doesn't want to buy the vehicle. Like, why would they want to sell it to somebody if they themselves wouldn't want to own one? Excuse me. Yeah. Well, so I'm not sure they're available yet, but they basically redesigned the chassis to take the new Hurricane 6-cylinder, which is their twin turbocharged inline 6. They redesigned the chassis to take that engine. I'm just real quick checking to see how much they're costing right now. Yeah, so they start at 56.9 for the new one with the 3-liter engine, and the old Charger was like 24, 25. So basically, like, Dodge is pricing all of their customers out of the vehicles. Yeah, like, our sales are really bad right now. There's been talk that our dealer might sell. If somebody will offer him the right amount of money for the dealership, he might sell it. They just bought it last year. But it's not profitable. They're not making any money on them. They're looking to either bring in another manufacturer. So we sell like Chrysler and Ford, Chrysler and GM, or like Kia. It's like, yeah, we're not making money right now. And they just keep getting more and more expensive. It's like the new Jeep. Yeah, well, and it's hard for well, I don't know if you know much about like the Jeep or Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, but we're owned by Stellantis. And Stellantis is the like parent company for Fiat Alfa Romeo. What is it? It's a bunch of brands. Yeah, so we're basically it used to be Fiat Chrysler America or Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, but now we're like, I'm trying to find the brands. Yeah, so we're Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Citroen, Dodge, DS Automobiles, which I don't know anything about them, Fiat, Jeep, Lancia, Maserati, Opel, Peugeot, Ram Trucks, and Vauxhall, which Opel and Vauxhall used to be GM brands. Yeah, but a bunch of our vehicles now, the Dodge Hornet. Yeah, so the Dodge Hornet, the Compass, which is what I own, the Jeep Compass, the Jeep Renegade. I'm trying to remember what other models. The new Cherokee when it comes out. And then there's another one in there. Are basically Alfa Romeo power plants. The Hornet is an Alfa Romeo Tonale. I'm pretty sure. Yep, Tenali. So it's basically an Alfa Romeo Tenali with a Dodge front. Um, Nothing else about the car, like and Dodge like emblems inside of it. Uh, it's the same body, chassis, powertrain, seats, except they don't say Alfa Romeo, they say Dodge. I think they might say Hornet. We've had nothing but trouble with those. They're like the worst built Dodge. After the EVs, they're the worst built vehicle that we sell. We have nothing but electrical problems with them. And the new Alfa Romeo Fiat engines are just overly complicated for the sake of being overly complicated. The new Cherokee, when it comes out, it's a 4-cylinder. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. It has 8 fuel injectors and 8 spark plugs. So the cylinder head and the block are going to be overly complicated to accommodate. Oh, and it's got, what do they call it? It's got a special type of ignition. So in the center of the cylinder head, there is a special like chamber for like and I cannot remember what they call it. But it will basically pre-fire inside this smaller combustion chamber, which will then ignite with the help of the other spark plug, ignite the fuel air mixture in the combustion chamber and push the piston down. But the carbon fouling in that, like it's an engine. It's gonna have carbon fouling eventually. How are you gonna clean that? Like, how are they gonna maintain that? Nobody thought of that, I'm sure. Because it's part of the cylinder head. You can't disassemble that. So when it gets plugged up with carbon, do you replace the cylinder head because you can't clean it? How long does it take to get that? Like, and the so like, I don't know if you know much about like modern like gasoline engines, but since like 2010, 2000 and in the mid 2010s, maybe even a little before that with some vehicles, they went to direct injection. Before that, they were multi-port injection. And what the difference with direct injection is the fuel injector generally has a skinny nozzle, and it's really long, and it goes directly into the combustion chamber. Whereas multi-port generally sat in the intake manifold and sprayed fuel into the intake runners, and then it mixed into the combustion chamber. Whereas I know some of it's just and when they've gone to direct injection, they have to have what they call a high pressure fuel pump, because direct injection is usually a lot higher fuel pressure than multi-port, because it has to put the fuel directly into the combustion chamber. And that high pressure fuel pump is usually on the engine. It's not electric, it's usually mechanical, and it's generally part of the engine. Well, on the new Cherokee, with that new 2-liter engine, the high-pressure fuel pump is in a location that basically to change it, you'll have to remove the engine. I doubt you'll be able to get it with the engine still in the car. But then there was a bunch of other features that it has that's just like... You're just making it overly complicated for no reason. I think some of it had to do with the timing, too. Like, nobody thought about that being a problem. So we're basically expecting that thing to be a nightmare when it comes out. And that's gonna be like most, like I recommend on most models, do not buy the first year. If you can, wait till the second year. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. I mean, they can't build the engines they build now. What makes them think they can build one that's complicated like that? Have a good one, Hill. Thank you for popping in and saying hi and hanging out for a bit. I appreciate it. You have a good night. Yeah, if you're at Adepticon, it should be there. And I'll post pictures of it probably on Instagram as well. Have a good one, Hill. What? Did you have a good dream? Aw. What you doing? Oh, big stretch. I got a Fluffy laying on the bed next to me. Oh, I'm sitting in a chair. He's laying on the bed. Yeah, he is very sleepy and all stretched out. And he woke up and looked at me, and then laid back down and went to sleep. Welcome back, Mads, everybody. I didn't catch that one to give my big spiel before it went off. just realized I was taking a lot of time to draw in my lines for my veins and my feathers. I'm using the wrong color for that. This is my base coat. Kind of my base color before I do that. Paint this one down first. I know I kind of put like a khaki on it, or with light kind of reddish brown. I'll paint this kind of bone color on first. And I don't need to worry about spaces in between like I was. It's okay if they get the color on them. Taking too much care where I shouldn't have been. Well, it is what it is. Relatively easy thing to fix. Alright, I gotta take a quick bio break. I will be back in like 10 minutes. And we're back. I try to do that during ad breaks, but it came out of nowhere that time. My wet palette is drying really fast tonight, even with the humidifier running. seconds left. Go ahead, clean it off there good. Let's keep going with that red for now. Too much water in my brush still. Oh. Oh, sorry about that. I had a sneeze attack. Oh, big scratch. Fluffy kitty just did a huge scratch. I don't have kitty cam on tonight. It's not really laying in a place where I can turn it on real easy. My nose is running real bad. We may raid out early because it has decided it really wants to run tonight. I don't want to be all sniffly on camera and microphone anymore. Yeah. I think we're gonna go raid. I'm gonna have to do this. Make sure I spelled the name right. Looks like it. Did that not work? It didn't work. I'll have to remember my commands. I forgot them all. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do it this way. I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out while I painted on my golden demon piece with my runny nose and my sniffles. Appreciate everybody hanging out through that. I will be back tomorrow night. As long as this doesn't continue at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Everybody has a wonderful rest of their night. It's slash, not exclamation point. So I will catch everybody next time. Thank you, everybody.